This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 9. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory. Call Halal Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Waha Rakakodas Rakatham. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, this is an edifying video. Shalom to the Confusion of Faith brethren joining into our ranks. Once again, it's the brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson. And basically, this lesson was inspired by Apostle Gabar. He made a statement that I wasn't aware of, although I was aware of the Roman Emperor Caligula. And if I'm not mistaken, I need to really check again, but you had Caesar, then you had Augustus, and I think Caligula was the son of Augustus. I may be incorrect, so don't quote me correctly. But my point being, he was talking about how, he was a depraved individual, and basically all these Edomites are, he said that, it's history and fact that Caligula was sleeping with his horse. He fucked his horse. And I couldn't find it spoken plainly like that, but I remember when, part of my testimony, I was going back and forth to, jail, and we came across a book. I came across a book in there, and it was like the Big Book of Weirdos, and it was based on all these different individuals that were actually people that existed in history, but it was about different like Caligula was mentioned in there. So it was in comic book format, but it was actually a very interesting book, and to the point I couldn't take it with me, which I should have though, because at the end of the day they shut the place down, got rid of all the books. So what I mean, but at the same time, I was homeless at the time, so I probably wouldn't have kept on to the book anyway. But I ended up finding it on PDF. And then, to show you how funny, one of the brothers told me that's Satan. I used to be able to collect all this information and knowledge, and then, some kind of way the phone will get broken or lost. So, but regardless of, that's neither here nor there. The guy Caligula, that Edomite, that red Hebrew Edomite, that devil, he was in some weird shit. So I could believe, they actually killed him because he was so depraved and whatnot. So at the end of the day, I think one of his generals or something actually assassinated him. So at the end of the day, I could see him fucking the horse, because they said that he was going to actually put the horse on the Senate. Or I forgot, you had the what plebeian and patricians. He was gonna try to put him in one of those though, like. And they built him. He built his horse a house and all this old crazy shit. So yeah, and that's the nature of these Edomites. But as I was listening to that video by Apostle Gabar, I can't quite recall the name of the title. Well, I'm gonna go get the title. Hold on. Salakia. I don't have time to play it right now. I think it's within one of these last few videos. I think, as a matter of fact, I think it's the one setting the record straight, King David in the caves, because he was going in on Edom, the Edomite Vocab Malone, and that guy that's with him, Jesus is the Word, and basically said that guy made a statement about King David being in the caves, but he was like, "What are you trying to say though, man? You trying to equate, King David's nature to the Edomites' nature?" And that just wasn't so. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, that's what he went into Caligula and whatnot, because at the end of the day, King David, a character was nothing like the Edomites. King David was a wise man. It says in Scripture that they, basically in the book of Job, that they like children of fools, base men. So, but without further ado, like I said, I came across an article, and through the Spirit, I just wanted to bring it out. And then I got like maybe one other scripture or two scriptures, and then I'm gonna close it. This is Gizmodo. The 11 most sexual depraved things that Roman emperors ever did by Rob Bricken. This is December 9th, 2013. The emperors of Rome could be wise, just and kind. They could also be vindictive, cruel, and insane. And most of all, they could be the worst perverts the world has ever seen, at least according to ancient historians like Suetonius, Pliny, and Cassius Dio. Here are nearly a dozen of the most immoral, disgusting behaviors the rulers of the ancient world indulged in. Supposedly. I didn't want to say supposedly. These Edomites is funny. Chances are most these were rumors made up by political enemies or gossiping plebes. But hey, just because they may not be true doesn't mean they aren't still entertainingly perverse. And at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, I believe they was true just because you got to remember, Romans had the Saturnalia. You know what I mean? That's when you go into this whole Christmas vibe. That's really they fucking holiday. You know what I mean? But you got our people, Jake, that want to participate in it. So fucking badly. And it makes so much shit because, like I say, I can say only from my personal testimony. All my life, I wasn't supposed to take part in that holiday. And as wicked as my, earthly father may have been, at the end of the day, it was a lot of customs in this place he did not allow us to partake in. So I don't know if it was just the spirit of the Lord or he knew more than what. I don't know. And I'm not going to downgrade him in front of, on, the video. But at the same time, the truth is true. At the end of the day, you got a lot of our people that have made deals with the heathens. You know what I mean? First Maccabees. So it says niece marrying. And not only did the niece marry, like I believe Caligula, they said was having sex with his sisters. And that's just how to show you. Then you had Cesare Borgia. You know what I mean? He was having sex with his sister, but he was a fucking homosexual. The Emperor Claudius married his brother's daughter, Agrippina, his brother being long dead, thank goodness. His affections were ensnared by the wiles of Agrippina, daughter of his brother Germanicus, aided by the right of exchanging kisses and opportunity for endearment offered by their relationship. Hiring anal sex experts. See, I want to get the juicy shit. Well, let's rephrase it. I want to get the most defiled acts. And like I said, I'm not trying to make this video that long. Hiring anal sex experts. No judgment on anal sex here. Ain't that about a bitch? You see this? I said these Edomites. And you see his picture. It look like an Edomite. No judgment on that. Anal sex. You know what I mean? Like I say, at the end of the day, the Most High didn't create your anus to be penetrated. You know what I'm saying? That's why once, you fuck up that vein, that's how, they say that the AIDS, you're able to get that AIDS, because at the end of the day, that hole is meant for things to come out, not things to go in. That's how depraved our people is. I'm going to get the scripture real quick, because, not just our people, but our people for one, but mainly those Edomites, you know what I mean? Like, these Edomites, and I'm not going to deny, Jake is off into the shit, dude. That's what I said. You got these Edomites as secretly homosexuals or flamboyantly homosexuals, but Jake got to take it to the 10th power. This is the book of Romans 1. I'm going to start at 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And that's Jake, but that's these Edomites too. You know what I mean? They consider themselves wise because of the fact that they, came up with this technology. Come on, they can actually manipulate genes, splice genes. They're creating chimera, chimera. They're doing like an island of Dr. Monroe. And change the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible man. And that's why they talking about the Most High can be a female, and the Most High is whatever you want him to be. Or you can be the Most High. And to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. That's the spirit, because I just went into how, like I said, they're actually splicing genes. Verse 24, wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanliness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their bodies between themselves. And that's our people. But, first and foremost, but that's these Edomites too. You know what I mean? Like I said, when you go into history, I remember this movie called The Punisher, not the remake with the guy, what's his name? Thomas Jane or whatever, but the guy, the one with Dolph Lundgren. And I remember they was fighting the triad. You had supposed to be, I guess, the Italian mob, and then the triad. And the ruler of the triad was a female, and she said at the end that she was like, "You really think you can?" Roughly paraphrasing, she was like, "You think you can withstand us?" She was like, "You know, my people have been the crime lords of Asia for the last 2,000-3,000 years." She said, "Your people, your people were walking around fucking sheep." This is in the movie, literally. So they based me in. Verse 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. So they worship the creature more than the creator. You got a lot of people who don't even believe in the Most High, especially these Edomites. These Edomites are smooth and subtle. You know what I mean? They don't truly believe in the Bible because, like I said, I was stating yesterday, if they did, they wouldn't make laws opposed to it. Because if anything, then, like I said, you would really truly just show your nature as being, antichrist, against the Most High, or against Mashiach. Verse 26, for this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections. Vile, infamy, that is subjective, disgrace, dishonor, shame, vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And like I said, that goes for our people first and foremost, but it goes towards these Edomites. Them people, like I said, these people naturally, like I said, lay down with dogs and horses and shit. You know what I mean? Some of that sick shit that, when you go into that internet porn, and me, myself, I don't watch porn. I never was really, I've watched it. I'll be a liar to say I didn't ever watch a porno, but at the same time, I never really got into it. I'm glad I never had that demon on me. You know what I mean? Because at the end, they come to find out, yeah, that's a demon. Just like gambling is a demon, or you got smoking demons, drinking. There's so many demons on this place because these demons feed off the flesh. But my point being, and some of the weird shit, like I said, you'll see these Edomite women fucking horses and shit, like. Be like that fucking cucumber challenge where the bitch tried to suck on the cucumber and swallowed the motherfucker, and they had to, get that bitch out. I know the doctors was up there just shaking their fucking head too. Verse 27, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another. And it's a known fucking fact that these Roman emperors were actually, they would have children with women to keep the bloodline going, to pass on the kingdom to their son, or because Caligula, is depraved that he was, it said that he had one daughter, and he was so cold with it, he was motherfucking like taking married women from men, and he was like the one that he had a child with, she was just as depraved as he was. I forgot what her name was, but I forgot what they was called, the sons of the sun or something, the emperors of the sun. But these men were marrying fucking men, and this is Roman history. So get back to the article that I'm gonna close. It says, on retiring to Capri, Tiberius devised a pleasance for his secret orgies. Teams of wantons of both sexes, selected as experts in deviant intercourse and dubbed annualists, copulated before him in triple unions to excite his flagging passions. In case these pros were somehow not up to the test, Tiberius put them to, he had a sex library full of illustrated works so he could just point to what he wanted. The animal game. Nero was so into being as depraved as possible, he supposedly defiled every single part of his body, that he had to think up some pretty original ways to keep it fresh. At last devised a kind of game in which, covered with the skin of some wild animal, he was let loose from a cage and attacked the private parts of men and women who were bound to stakes. sister fucking. Say what you want about Caligula as a spirit, but he was really, really good at incest. He lived in habitual incest with all his sisters. And at a large banquet, he placed each of them in turn below him while his wife reclined above. Wow. His sister Drusilla was his favorite, having had sex with her when he was but a boy. And when they were grown, he simply took her from her legal husband. And he was known for doing that. And like I said, not just he, but like I said, Cesare Borgia was into the same shit. It's a known fact that he was the lover to Leonardo da Vinci. And then, like I said, he was having sex with his sister as well. Sex rest stops. Here's an idea you probably never had. To make those long road trips more enjoyable, set up stops full of prostitutes along your way. And when you do, thank Nero. Motherfucking. In terms of sexual depravity, Nero even put Caligula to shame by going to the source, so to speak, and having sex with his own mother. It says, so they say whenever Nero rode in the litter with his mother, he had incestuous relations with her, which were betrayed by the stains on his clothing. Later, when Nero was emperor, people tried to keep him from fucking his mother, mostly because they were afraid that Agrippa would get too much power from the relationship. It should probably go without saying that eventually Nero tried to murder his mother by putting her on a break apart boat. Emperor Elagabalus, who ruled from 203 to 222 AD, outdid Caligula in this regard. He set up a brothel in the palace and pimped himself. Finally, he set aside a room in the palace and there committed his indecencies, always standing nude at the door of the room, as the harlots do, and shaking the curtains which hung from gold rings, while a soft and melting voice he solicited the passers-by. Wow. Making a man his wife, and that's the spirit. I'm not talking about gay marriage here, at least not really. I'm talking about Nero taking a man and making him a woman. And I didn't know Nero did all this depraved shit in the worst way possible. He castrated the boy Spurius and actually tried to make a woman of him. And he married him with all the usual ceremonies. Proving my point, and that's the spirit. Tittlers. Emperor Tiberius loved to swim, and he apparently also loved being pleasured by children. And to this day, you got that transgender. The brother from Men of Valor brings out that transgender child that's around those homosexual transgender men, and they tipping him and shit. He managed to combine both these hobbies into one. He trained little boys, whom he termed tittlers, to crawl between his thighs when he went swimming and tease him with their licks and nibbles. Wow. It's like the world's most perverted aquarium. Last one, Salaki. Baby fucking. I'm sorry, did you think Tiberius Tillers were bad? He also used to get blowjobs from babies. Unweaned babies he would put to his organ as though to the breast, being by both nature and age rather fond of this form of satisfaction. And that's these fucking Edomites. I'm gonna end this lesson out of the book of Job. And that's why Job called him base man. This is Job 30, verse 1. By now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. And I just went into how these fucking Edomites basically were into bestiality. So Job didn't want them around his dogs because they be done tried to fuck the dog. And what do scriptures say? You know, if a man lay with a beast, I think the beast supposed to be destroyed. You know what I mean? Because you done fucking fuck this beast up. You know what I mean? Verse 2. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. Verse 3, for want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former times desolate and waste. Verse 4, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. So they was living off the land like wild beasts, like roaming the land, eating, you know what I mean, off a tree. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. And that's when they were pushed into the Caucasus Mountains. Verse 6, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys and caves of the earth and in the rocks. And like I say, I just downloaded the picture when you go into Petra and all the different Edomite cities that they built that are made out of rock. And then you look at the architecture that day and architecture today. You know, like that Roman Colosseum that they always speak on that's actually still built up and exists today. That looks like your common, like, city hall. I've been to a few different other cities, and all this major city halls all look the same. They look like that. Among the bushels they braid, and the way the Apostle Gabar explained braid, because I never understood it, but he said it's basically how like a horse makes that noise, you know, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, under the nettles they were gathered together. Verse 8, they were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. So basically, these red Hebrew Edomites, like I said, I just brought out the article. Enough said. This motherfucker was so sick, he letting the babies, instead of winging them on the, you know, how a woman wings a baby on the tit, he using his male member, his penis, to, man, that's some sick, depraved shit, man. So, with that, I'm going to end the lesson. Call Allah Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua, Ba'Hashem Rachakaras Bakatham. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth for faith and sincerity, risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, it was an edifying video. Shalom to the confusion of faith, brethren, join on to our ranks. Salaki, Lord willing, I'm able to come at you with another lesson as soon as possible. Salaki, as soon as possible. And with that, I want to say shalom, shalom, and abad babal.